Yep.
This week on Reliving.
Spell the name of the podcast.
N-A-P-E Maxon. M-A-X.
That's your intro, folks. This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are on the struggle bus to try to give you an hour this week with the episode of ECW that we watched from March the 29th, 1994. Nate Maxon here, along with my brother Aaron.
Hello, everyone.
And a man who, if featured on this show, may have made it better, Chad Austin.
C-H-A-D-A-U-S-T-I-N.
Trying to get the long...
It took about 8 seconds.
Get the long intro here before we get into this. Yeah, we were discussing the show that and I'm sure the show that was originally aired was longer. WWE probably edited something out.
You think?
Yeah, and the show that's on the network is only 29 minutes long for this week's show that we are reviewing. But before we get into this, there's a couple of things that I want to discuss. Aaron and I yesterday were at the Heroes and Legends Wrestling Show in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the mecca of professional wrestling.
Fuck yeah. I mean, the reason why I couldn't be there is because I couldn't get a flight there.
They're like, Chad,
it's not because they were overbooked. It's because nobody flies there.
we can get you to Louisville. That's as far as we're gonna go. That's it.
Yeah, and then I would have spent $175 to fly to Louisville. Then I would spend $240 a day to get a rental car if they even had them. To drive all the way like another 4 hours to Fort Wayne, and then I'm thinking then I gotta spend the night. That's another couple $100. And I'm thinking that pizza job didn't pay that well. I don't think DoorDash is killing it either.
Aaron and I had fun talking to the people, promoting the We Can't Wrestle podcast, Reliving the Extreme, and WrestleNet Radio.
Well, you had fun talking to the people.
Yeah, I had fun talking to the people. Aaron had a fun being Aaron, which was fantastic.
I mean, was there a lot of people there? Like, did people know the show? I mean,
it was. We've been to a few of those shows, and they usually do pretty decent. This one did not. Comparatively, so it was. And I don't know. I don't know if it's if COVID's still keeping people away or what excuse you would use, but I guess putting us on the banner didn't put any asses in the seats, but it did give us a chance to promote the shows and talk to the peoples and make some connections and stuff. So that wasn't too bad. Now, I will say,
I'm kidding, by the way. I enjoyed talking to some of the people.
The convention was fine. The wrestling card was a fucking train wreck. And Aaron, only you could tell these stories better than I could.
Well, I don't know if I can do that, but right off the bat, they did a Royal Rumble, and this one dude's in there, and his name is Phil the Philosopher or some shit like that. Simon
Socrates, that was it.
The philosopher Simon Socrates, and his gimmick is that he's a Greek philosopher. It's just a horrible gimmick. And he comes out in this Royal Rumble thing, and then this big fucker comes out. His number's drawn. He comes out and he kicks this motherfucker goddamn hard in the face.
I looked at Aaron and I said, "That knocked him and it really did."
This dude is just out in the middle of the fucking ring at fucking Fort Wayne, Indiana, and everybody's just looking at him.
Dude, based on where you guys kind of live and that whole little scene out there. It looks like every show looks like the undercard of an Ian Rotten show. It's big fat guys wearing them big baggy, plastic leather looking pants kind of thing. And I just kind of go what the fuck's the matter with these fucking guys? Is that what it was like?
For the most part. But they dumped this guy out of the ring, finally. They get him out. And then the battle royal continues, and then it ends, and then they're like, all right, we got to take a break. They've already got to take an intermission.
First match, we need an intermission.
And they're like, we need the promoter to the back immediately, please. This guy is fucked.
Who was the promoter?
What's his
Jason
name?
Maples.
Oh,
Jason Maples.
well, I mean, just make sure you guys didn't give him my number.
So this guy gets this shit kicked out of him.
He sounds like he's a pronoter.
What else happened on this thing? Oh, Ubi comes out. Okay.
Uber dude.
My boy Super Crazy had a match.
Yeah,
which was actually pretty good. With the local cruiserweight champion, whatever his name was, I don't remember.
Cody Lee.
There you go. Super Crazy has a match with him.
Crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the people, if you have a budget to book a show, out of all, why did they book Matt Cardona? You know what I mean? Like, Super Crazy?
I think Super Crazy and Hoovy came as a package deal because they were at the same table.
Well, they should have booked Tiger Mask 9. I mean, at least he's got a show on the Pluto. on the Indie Wrestling Channel.
And if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Fuck yeah. If you can get your online internet to work, it takes me about 4 hours to start this thing up. I got a lawnmower, and it doesn't take this long to fucking start up.
But Ubi, his fucking foot's broke. And I didn't know he was going to be broke. And at first, like during the convention, I'm sitting at the table with Nate, and I see this little guy getting pushed in a fucking wheelchair, wearing a mask.
Little guy.
Yeah, and I almost looked at Nate, and I almost said, "Oh, look, it's like must be that kid's wish to meet fucking Rikishi or something." You know? And then I realized it was actually Ubuntu. I was like, "Oh, that's actually Ubuntu." Well, so I was like, "Well, he's obviously not going to be working tonight." So he doesn't, obviously, but then he comes out and he cuts a promo, and you can't understand a fucking word he's saying after this match that he has with Super Crazy. And
I don't know when Juventud quit trying. Like, he obviously quit trying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't know like when it
maybe
happened.
maybe when WWE had him riding a lawn tractor to the ring. I don't know when he.
Well, that was actually probably his best stuff. I thought. I mean, that's when, like there was a rumor going around, and whatever. Nobody listens to this. There was a rumor going around that he was Bob Orton's boy toy.
Oh my!
Yeah.
it was.
And my buddy, who's a worker, he was at the gym, and he said he kept seeing Juventud kind of like posing, like he didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
He was just posing in front of the gym. And then literally Bob Orton walks over and like pats him on the back, and like they leave together. And he's like, "What do you know about Bob Orton and Juventud?" I go, "I don't think I should know anything."
I was gonna say not a goddamn thing.
Yeah. I mean, if I know something, you're gonna have to subpoena me. I'm not saying it on this fucking show. But yeah, Juventud. I mean, you could probably say it could have been as late as what, 97 WCW? Mm-hmm. Like that he just kind of gave up because he never could do that 350, 60, 92 splash. Like, you know what I mean? Channel 45, whatever. I don't know, whatever he's doing it. But he never could. Like, I never claimed that I could do that splash like great, and I would do it. And 99% of the time, I would miss it because I knew I couldn't do it like successfully.
Right.
But I've seen that dude land on people's fucking necks, like with his knees, you know, and shit. And I'm like, somebody's gonna get up, you know,
and slap the piss out of you
and wring that little motherfucker's neck.
Well, he comes out to cut this promo on Super Crazy, and nobody can understand what he's saying. He's fucking mumble mouth, obviously. And he's like, "I'll challenge you, cage match, triple threat," and he's just babbling. And then he says, in an example of a guy not knowing how to read the room, he goes, "So all I have to say is fuck you, you fucking motherfucker."
And every parent with a small child in the building, you could hear the collective parental gasp.
That's all he knew in English?
That's all he gets. That's the only thing you could understand. Was he said, "And fuck you, you fucking motherfucker."
Wow. All this time he's lived in this country, and that's all he's picked up.
And everybody was shocked, except me and Nate. We're the only ones cackling. But everybody else
let's be honest.
Just shocked.
Yeah, let's be honest. I would have just jumped up and like, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck you, super crazy.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah. Super fuck you.
But yeah, that was that show.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that the super. Oh, dude, don't get me started. What I almost just said there. Did he look okay? Like he could still do some of his shit?
Super crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually had a pretty decent match. He didn't do the.
That's the only thing. That's what I was gonna say. I asked Nate. I was like, I wonder if he can do that triple jump anymore. And then they ended up not doing it. So I'm like, well, he can't do that shit no more.
Yeah, because the show was only one day.
He would have been a ham bone. He would have been able to hit it.
I mean, like literally, he gave me one of his shirts, like in ECW, and it's so generic, and it says like super crazy and it says insane luchador, but because he gave it to me, like I kind of put it somewhere in a higher rotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, because he knew that I liked him, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, and since he didn't speak English, and I always kept patting him on the back and stuff, and be like, good. And then he handed me the shirt, and apparently he didn't buy the finest in quality of T-shirts when he got his merch made, because you can almost see my back through the front. Like that's how thin it's gotten now. But, I digress.
Yeah, it was definitely a train wreck of a show. But I mean, overall, I think it's awesome to be able to get back to go into live wrestling and going to concerts, whether good or bad. And hey, you know what? Even a train wreck wrestling show is fun. We prove that every week here on Reliving the Extreme when we watch these.
I hope you guys just got to hear. I'm outside, and I hope you guys got to hear my neighbor just walk outside. I call him Miro or Rusev, and he's literally he's like, I don't know what he is, but he's hairy as shit and never wears a shirt, and he just came walking out of the house yelling. And I hope when you go back and clean this up, Nate, you can hear Miro out there.
Is your neighbor Archie Mitchell?
It's Rusev.
Oh, I had to get the first Archie Mitchell joke in this week. We were talking about it yesterday at the convention.
Oh, we got Archie Mitchell jokes to come.
Archie Mitchell money is one of our favorite sayings now, Chad. We say that all the time now. I don't have Archie Mitchell money, but
you do.
All right. So I want to ask you guys a question. As of this week, well, starting next week, we will have watched a full calendar year of ECW. When we started, I think the first episode we did was April 1st of 1994. So actually, I guess technically this is a year's worth of ECW TV. What do you think, Aaron, is the highlight of the first year of ECW?
My leather pants joke about Jason last week.
Oh. Well, I think I'm still laughing about that.
But no,
because
honestly,
I laughed so much about that fucking joke last week that I completely forgot why I was laughing about it. And I'm trying to explain to Jess. I'm like, Aaron just wrecked me. And then she's like, what did he say? I go, I don't even remember.
I'm going to have to go back and listen.
And then, like, when I went back and I listened to the show and I said, I think that was it. About Jason's pants.
But in all honesty, I think the highlight has been Shane Douglas. He's been the best person on the show, hands down. I don't think he hasn't done anything where I could just make fun of it or poke holes in it or anything like that. So yeah, Shane and Terry Funk.
I agree with Terry Funk. He was going to be what I said was the highlight.
Yeah, but I would have taken Terry out of the equation.
Really?
Like besides Terry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because what was the best thing about '89 WCW?
Terry Funk.
Okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. What was the best? So yeah, it's Terry Funk. So take him out of the equation. I think Shane is probably a great example of like the best thing to come out of this. But are you asking me too?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the emergence of the Sandman. We're starting to see something here, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The gimmick has finally, the wetsuit has finally been retired to the basement for the Sandman, and hopes of never returning again.
And hasn't he already slapped the bitch? Hasn't he already hit Peaches? Like
she's at home in the kitchen. Yeah.
Because they kind of show it like weekly, right?
Yeah, pretty much every week on Recap
We're
Championship
so disgusted
Wrestling.
with what he did. We're going to continue to show it to you.
I mean, there's no chance he's going to get away with this in a court of the law. Because, like, the district attorney's just going to replay the tape.
Bring me any episode of ECW from February or March of 1994, and I can have this footage. So I know there's a lot to choose from.
Get out of that, broad.
I know there is a lot to choose from. But what has been the worst thing we've seen, Aaron, so far in ECW? Or you can say things. You can mix it up and say this.
Where do you begin?
This.
Where do you begin? Hunter Q. Robbins, Jay
Hunter
Sully,
Q. Robbins,
Maddie in the House, fucking Pat Tanaka. This is all trash.
Now we're talking. I mean, Hunter Q. Robbins hasn't lived here for a while. Yeah, like you must really hold a grudge against Hunter Q. Robbins.
He's asked him for the whole year, so that would be it. I mean, basically that Cabrini College stank. Like that was just, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. That
whole entire run was not great.
Yeah, that was bad.
But as far as what the worst, I mean, in my eyes, the worst part was the lack of the like the increase in the people, because it just seemed like it wasn't until just the show we're going to do today that you started to see like more people. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You always got that whole entire, when you look around the back of the arena, there's always that open space.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then, like, now I'm thinking, oh, all right, we got Sabu, and we got Mike was awesome, and then we're like, now there's people there.
Right. Yeah. The word is out apparently.
Yeah.
I have to give an honorable mention to the universe that was the universe of the Super Ds, because they had multiple. They broke up, then they were back together, then they broke up, and somebody lost a mask. But I think the next week the guy had the mask back on, and they were. So I got to give it.
Found it.
Yeah.
he looked underneath his car seat, and he's like, "Hey, man, here's your mask." Yeah, the Super Ds, I could have super done without. Like, if you want to put it in that kind of context, I'm just like, well, but let's be honest, guys. That's what ECW was, you know. There's no money, so you know, like, what are you gonna do? if you got AJ Petrucci and Doug Stahl working for $40 a night,
that's your tag team champions. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you use them?
Mm-hmm. But I also have to give honorable mention, whether the good or the bad. I think he's finally not going to be on the show anymore. Our MVP of the past year of Reliving the Extreme, Salvatore Bellomo. I have to mention Sal. God rest his soul. You know what, Sal didn't even know how much he's done for this podcast in the past year.
I thought you were going somewhere else with this one.
No.
I thought there was another guy's name that you were going to say, and I'm just going, when is this guy going to go away?
Ooh, which one?
Rebel.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I saw him come out wearing that fucking terrific California body gear shirt later on, I'm just thinking, like, this motherfucker's still there.
Still hanging around.
Like, when is he gonna get the message,
Are they still using a license? Or didn't you say that he had a license that they were using, and that's why they were using him?
Yeah, because he had a Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission license.
So that could be why he's still around.
Yeah, because they didn't know. The commission didn't issue any more licenses. There's only so many people allowed to have them. So he had a license. He was kind of grandfathered in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around, but like Chad said, he does pop his head into this episode of ECW. And like I said, I just wanted to give Sal Bellomo. I know we busted a lot of balls about Sal, but I was entertained by Sal Bellomo. Yes. I got to say that. Whether
the kids,
goofy, and the kids, end of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was more entertained than the kid. And it's not plural. I said kid.
The kid.
The one kid.
That one kid.
The one kid that kept picking up at the park.
There's kids in this country.
His parents were all mad at, like, who is this guy picking up my kid?
What's with the helmet? All right, so we're going to go into it now. March 29th, 1994. Did you just go, oh, Aaron?
Yeah, we were having so much fun.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for
the show.
Thanks for shitting in the Cheerios, Nate.
Yeah, I thought this could just be the show. We can just beat up Sal for another, I don't know how much we got, another 38 minutes or whatever.
That's a spicy meatball. The Ultimate Jeopardy match is shown, or footage from it is shown at the beginning of this show with Shane Douglas with a bag over Terry Funk's head in the Ultimate Jeopardy steel cage match. He hits a pile driver on the Funker and pins Terry Funk to win the ECW championship.
For Valley Forge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And didn't you say this one, it doesn't, because I could never find this show. So didn't you say this one was one that was lost?
Yeah, that's according, no, not, I mean, let me take that back. This is right around when Paulie had the problem with the production company.
Okay.
Because this was supposed to be like the big deal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
everything. And I guess Paul's, shocker. That's why I didn't get paid in checks. You know what I mean? The production company decided, wait a minute, we brought all this shit out here, you know what I mean? And your check bounced, like 911 just chokeslammed me, Hack Myers, and the other guy.
So the tape wasn't lost, the tape was kept.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I know his name is David. Can't think of his last name. But there's 100% chance that he has it. And I still want to know why is Tom Brady's name on my notes?
I don't know.
Was he in the crowd? I mean, that's how good the show was. I was thinking of Tom Brady.
Aaron, what did you think of this? I mean, I know it's just the end of a match, but
Well, I mean, there's the video that goes with it, which they show the clips of everything that's going on. I think I know Chad said the setup was kind of weird, but it like the little ramp they had that you run down and the fucking being on that circular stage and all that shit. I mean, I wish you could have seen this show because it looked like it was cool. Like it looked like
Yeah,
it was a cool setup at least.
It looked better on paper than it did in real time. Like when you get there and you're like, wow, it's like Dolly Parton performed here, Kenny Rogers performed here, and then 911's here. Kind of thing. Like, it was kind of like it looked like it was a big deal because it was clean. It was lit for not wrestling. I will say that it was not lit for wrestling. It was not backlit, and then at the bottom of all that shit you had the ring. So it was kind of like at the end of the day you just kind of go like, yeah, this is not a great idea. This was not the best building you could run. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you why they ran it, I don't know what the logistics was Todd knows somebody, and got it for half of nothing.
Which is possible. Now would you say it was are you saying it wasn't a good show, a good place to run to present it on TV, or just in general?
In general, because there was no back.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't you could only put cameras on 3 sides of the ring because there was no behind it. Because where the stage where the people perform at, nobody wants to pay a ticket to go up there and see Dolly Parton's back.
It's like that ridiculous shit they did at WWE earlier this year where they had the matches at the concert. I forget which pay-per-view that was. Do you remember?
Nobody ever said Dolly Parton had big shoulder blades. I'm going to pay all this money to go watch Dolly Parton's back. and that's the kind of place it was. It was, for lack of a better word, I guess it's an amphitheater, right?
Yeah.
Like when it's only 3 sides and then there's the pit.
And then you got the pit with the stage on it down. Yeah.
They had everything, but the only thing they lacked was the orchestra, like down in the pit. But I think that's where Donnie Allen was sitting.
Then the other thing is the only other thing that would have annoyed me would be if I was like at that show or I'm in the crowd and the main event starts and they're fucking flashing spotlights in my eyes every 20 seconds.
What, they were doing that?
Well, if you watch like the match, like when the whole match is going on, like fucking lights are just going crazy all over the cage and the ring and everything like that, and it's like that would have annoyed the shit out of me.
Well, again, like I just said, didn't I just say like the place wasn't well lit?
Yeah.
And I think somebody at some point kind of thought, like we got to do something here. You know what I mean?
Liven this up a little bit.
Yeah, like. Yeah, probably. Matt Radico. That's the guy's name.
Speaking of another Matt, we get an intro on the show of Matty in the house, and this is fucking terrible.
Well, of course. Matty in the house.
But he introduces the show this week instead of Joey Styles, which I think it's mostly because this show has absolutely nothing that hasn't been. Everything that's on this show is recorded like 3-4 weeks ago. So Matty does an intro. All I wrote down is Matty in the house. Terrible. I didn't write down anything he said.
I tell you what he said. Oh, Matty in the house. Why is everything from last week? That's pretty much what he said.
I'm sorry. We get a match.
I'm sorry. I apologize for Pat Tanaka. Still working here. There's not a whole lot I can do about this.
We're showing a match between the Bruise Brothers and Public Enemy from a couple of weeks ago before the Public Enemy won the tag team championship. This match is is definitely ECW. I mean, I did too, and it was chaotic. It was all over the place. They had a really, really cool shot when they went across the Eagle's Nest where the announce desk is. The shot of Joey commentating about the match, but the camera catching him from above him, I thought
when
was
they
really
beat him
cool.
up?
Yeah, right before they beat him up, they like shot him calling it, but he's like he knew the camera was above him, so he's calling it like a fucking ace reporter during a war scene or a war zone or something, and that
Like
was
he's
really
Wolf
neat.
Blitzer?
Yeah,
He's out there going, "It's chaos! It's chaos and mayhem!" And all of a sudden the Taliban storms the Eagle's Nest.
Who was this
dude,
fucking Bob guy that was with him?
That's what I know is who the fuck is Bob Smith?
Bob Smith.
That's
I
the
don't
guy
think
that
I
was
even.
commentating with Joey.
The Bob that was commentating with Joey. They only ever showed him from behind. He had long hair. I have no idea who Bob Smith or whoever. I don't.
He fucking sucked, whoever he was.
He must have been on for 2 seconds because I have no recollection of any Bob Smith on this show.
If that is his real name.
Seriously. They would have been better off if it was Bob Starr.
Bob Ortiz, for Christ's sake.
That's probably who it was.
Well, whoever he is, he's terrible. And hopefully he never rears his ugly head again. But yeah, like I said,
I can't say enough. I mean, how many weeks, Aaron, have I just kept saying, why didn't the Bruise Brothers stick around?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they aired a promo of the Bruise Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, oh, well, I mean, it's starting to make sense now.
Yeah, they needed somebody with them.
Well, who could have easily managed the Bruise Brothers in ECW?
Paulie.
Well, no, I got another name in mind.
Okay.
Our fearless leader, the cult of Cornette, maybe James E. Yeah. Because they already had roots back to Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
They already had roots back to Smoky Mountain, and that could have been a natural fit. But at the same time, I got to be honest, I actually thought back in that period of time that Paulie and Jim still hated each other. Like, I thought that was a shoot. I didn't know that they were actually friends.
Yeah.
Like, that was a work. And you guys probably can't say that either, right?
Oh no, yeah, I always thought that they did. I always thought they disliked each other.
Yeah,
because they just have such different opinions on what pro wrestling should be and how it should be presented. And it just seemed to me like I mean, I'm not saying that Cornette. I mean, we all know how he feels about shit stain, but maybe not that much vitriol, but I can't see those two. You can't even see those two getting along, really. Just it's like oil and water.
Yeah, so you would naturally just think they didn't like each other, but behind the scenes, yeah, they're friends, And I'm thinking, what a better fit, because who would have been the baby face? Who do you think would have been the baby face if Cornette would have came in and managed the Harris brothers against the fucking public enemies?
I don't.
They're fucking awful, by the way, dude. It's terrible.
It would have been Cornette, and the Cornette would have been the baby face. I mean, every time him and the Midnights would go to Philadelphia, they would fucking lose their minds. Like,
yeah, I 100% agree, but it's also ECW. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Cornette's gonna shit all over the ECW arena and the fans in the ECW arena.
Here for it though,
dude. If
Jim Cornette shit on him, they'd still pop for it.
How big was that pop when Cornette showed up?
Enormous, enormous,
dude. Like, I mean, everybody knows when the lights go out in Philadelphia, somebody's gonna be in that ring, and it's like, okay, we've had Bobby Eaton, we've had Arn Anderson, we've had Terry Funk, You know, and then all of a sudden,
who do you think got a bigger pop on that gimmick? Was it Cornette or Lawler? Because Lawler got a pretty Lawler got a yeah. Well, that's true. Lawler had
They were mad to see Lawler. You know, they were like, "Fuck that." But when Cornette showed up. Their initial one was, "Yay, Cornette's here!" And now it's like, okay, now we got to play along and boo him.
Well, dude, no, I think Lawler got the piggyback pop. You know, off of that, because I think that Cornette was so over for that pop that they could have brought me out there. Well, I can and, like they could have brought anybody out there, and they would have got a pop because they were already piggybacking off of Cornette's thing. Cornette. So they were already jumping up and down, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna kill people. Like you're gonna turn the lights out. And then you're going to bring out Cornette. And then you're going to turn the lights out again. And then you're going to bring out Lawler. You know, it's like, who are you going to bring out next?
Yeah, who the fuck is next? Jesus.
Magnum? Jerry. Like, all of a sudden, Magnum's coming out to the ring in stilts. Like, all of a sudden, he can walk. Yeah, it's like they kind of, I mean, it's a weird kind of thing to explain, you know, the piggyback pop kind of thing. But, you know, it's like it's when everybody's so high, and I don't mean that in, you know, that sense, but when everybody's just so high and they get the emotions are just going and going and going, that they could have brought anybody out there. Mike Boyette would have been over. SD Jones, what up, his favorite son.
Sal Balomo.
No. No. But anybody else you could have brought out there, and the place would have won apeshit because they were already just like, "What the fuck's going on?" You know, there's Jim Cornette, there's Jerry Lawler. You know, I mean, didn't they? Was Tammy already there?
At that time, yeah.
So you had Tammy, you had all these. Like people that, you know, I'm sure they all made surprises, you know what I mean? Like debuts. So, and that was one of Paul's downfall is first off, he didn't pay the fucking electric bill. And second off, he just ran out of people to bring in.
I have nobody else. Yeah, I have nobody else to do this light gimmick with. What the fuck are we going to do next?
He's looking around, he's scouring the internet, and all he can come up with is Tom Brady.
Or Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, well, that's why he's on my notes. Because I had a feeling Paul was thinking about him.
We get a like Chad alluded. After the match results in a pin for. Sorry, I lost my place on
Brothers.
Yes, for the Bruise Brothers.
And then the Public Enemy kicked the shit out of Joey Styles.
Yes.
Dude, they beat the shit out of Joey Styles.
Yeah, and then bashed him with a chair.
Dude, I love how they just kind of like they didn't hurt him. Right? Let's be honest. They didn't rough him up. But I could just tell the emphasis was on Paul going, just ruffle up his clothes to make it look like, you know, like you beat him up. Because I even look at Joey Styles. Like he's like half of a sleeve is ripped. You know, he's got like his underwear hanging out of the back and stuff.
He looks like Jameson from the WWF.
Pretty much. I'm just like, that's all Paul said to do. Like, don't beat the guy up. You know, just shake him up and, you know, and pull down his pants or something, you know, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
that's all that was.
Like Chad said, then after this we get we see the footage of the tag title match with the Public Enemy coming in with the pipes, or anyway, this thing's a fiasco. Public Enemy and the tag team change. My notes are terrible because I was so disengaged with this episode.
Is there a more convoluted, just fucking horribly handled title in the history of professional wrestling than the first year of the ECW tag team?
No shit.
Like that's gonna be like you know that thing they have on like YouTube like the unauthorized story of,
Yeah.
the different territories and stuff. It's going to be the unauthorized story of something to do with the ECW, like tag
We
team.
don't have I was gonna make a board and put it all together, but I don't have enough fucking red yarn or whatever they use to connect the fucking dots of what's going
bandwidth.
on with this fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the internet's big enough for that.
They have those videos that you can watch on YouTube where it'll be like the history of the WWF or all the WWF champions of all time, and then it's set to music and it shows a picture of each one, and the ECW one with just a couple of just have question marks come up, and then Taz and Sullivan are there, then a question mark again. We don't have any fucking clue.
Yeah. It's the Super D's with the mask, without the mask, delivering pizzas with Sal,
half a mask.
The family picnic with the Sandman and the handicapped kids. I mean, you never know what the fuck's going on with this fucking company.
Eddie Gilbert and the Dark Patriot, then Eddie Gilbert and Doug Gilbert. Yeah.
So even Eddie Gilbert probably decided to take himself off of this shit. Because Eddie was already done, right? Yeah, he was done by this point. Yeah, he probably said, Paul, if you can do one thing for me, for the rest of our friendship.
If we've ever been friends.
Can you just forget that I was here? Like, erase it. I don't give a shit what you do about Doug. You can do whatever you want about him. But just eliminate me from this garbage. And I just said, did anybody question what the fuck Jason was doing during like this like the Bruise Brothers, like after the Bruise Brothers promo when he was like talking to Joey, like what the fuck was he? Was he having a seizure? He was shaking his head. You know what I mean? He was like flipping his hair and like doing all this stuff. And it goes back to last week when I said that was a great Jason promo from last week. And you guys disagreed, but he tried to recreate it. No, he didn't. I mean, it's like,
how do you like my epilepsy?
Yeah. How do you like my seizure?
We get a promo from the Harris brothers that Chad alluded to, and then we get a promo from the Public Enemy, which is terrible.
Another doozy.
I still contend, and I don't remember if you guys agreed with me or not. I do like the only thing I like about Public Enemy promos is how Rocco will slip in between the clowny voice and the crazy voice. I do like that. That always seems cool to me. But
the Johnny.
Yeah, he always ends up ending it on a serious like tone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you one thing that I am gonna do.
Yes, exactly.
I'm eventually going to get a job. Like normally it's like Johnny's going, what are you going to do for money, Rocco? I don't know, Johnny. And then he goes, I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do. Once I get my learners, I'm going to deliver pizzas. And we're going somewhere.
Oh, Rocco.
Yeah.
You don't want to deliver pizzas?
30 minutes.
Just rob the pizza guy.
30 minutes.
Pizzas on a bicycle, Rocco.
30 minutes or less, Rocco.
Rocco's like, God damn it, Johnny, I'm trying to deliver the pizzas. You just keep eating them, you fat piece of shit.
Yeah. When he says 30 minutes or less, he's like, you ain't never wrestled 30 minutes. It's always been less. Like, you're going to be good at this, Rocco.
Eating so much pizza, you got a heart condition.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I don't even know what the hell my next what the hell my next note is.
The next match on the show is Sabu versus Mike Awesome.
No, that's not my next note. I think it says big fat head.
You must be talking about Johnny Grunge in that note. Yeah. You have to be.
I don't know, but I scribbled it so fast that I was probably laughing when I wrote it. Because right after that, I wrote Smike Awesome. Like literally, there's an S, unless that's the G from the big fat thing. Then it makes it look like it says Smike Awesome.
Smike Awesome
versus Sabu to you.
This was fine.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
what are you going to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine, and it was there were, and this is just how it goes with a match of this nature. There were a couple of times where, you know, Mike was obviously waiting on Sabu. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. You can just see it. He's waiting on Sabu. Would you get in the fucking position you're supposed to be in?
Yeah, and the worst part is these two motherfuckers probably worked each other 40 times, probably before this match, you know, in Japan. Same match.
Yeah, same match. Tables in the same place.
Yeah, I'll do this. Then you do this, and then we'll do it again tomorrow. And then they get to Philadelphia, and all of a sudden, these two motherfuckers are like Helen Keller out there. They have no idea what they're doing. You know, it's the blind leading the blind out there, and you're just going, "Wow, why did this match look so much better in front of a bunch of slanty-eyed people?" It doesn't really translate in the States. Good, you call me a racist. I don't give a shit. What are they gonna do? We've already bombed them, so they're gonna shut up.
Hopefully, you don't live next to a harbor.
I do.
Oh, be careful.
I was just down there today.
Sabu hits a oh my god, my notes here are terrible this week. Sorry, I apologize. Aaron, tell me about this match.
Well, the Mike Awesome did do a spring off the top into the crowd, which is kind of impressive. Sabu moved the railing for him because there was no way that fucking Mike is gonna beat that railing. So Sabu.
I hate when he does that. Like, Aaron, doesn't he try to make it look like he's not doing it on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it looks tries like to fall into it.
Yeah, Sabu tries to make it look like he's like a wild man or whatever, and he pushes it. But yeah, he made sure he moved that.
The only other person that can move a railing worse than Sabu was Ian Rodden. and like, you would think
somehow I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's like Ian. He walks like a duck, and you know what I mean. Like, so he's not moving a railing like in any search of urgency, or you know. And Sabu's the same way. He'll throw himself like into the railing just so he can pretend like it looks like he's moving the railing, so that you know that he can do his shit. But I mean, at least he understands. I can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't clearing this goddamn guardrail. And do I think this big motherfucker's going to catch me? I don't think so.
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, overall, again, this was a good brawl. 911 actually costs Mike Awesome the match. So after the match, we get I put a crying promo from Paulie mocking Mike Awesome for crying about 911 costing him this match, and says that 911 will fight him. Tell me that does that match ever even happen?
No,
I hope not.
I didn't think so. I don't remember.
Think Mike Awesome. I don't think Mike Awesome lasted until honestly. I don't think it is.
He's got to work 911, so he's probably like, "Fuck that."
He's like, "Peace. No. I'll be back in 1998."
Yeah, I mean, Mike Awesome's not a wrestling guy, so it's not like he's going to have anything to say about this creative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not going to know. Like, when they say you're going to work 911, he's not going to be like, "Oh, come on, man," you know, because he probably don't know who the fuck he is. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Well, he works here,
or he comes here anyway."
Yeah, so he probably don't even know who the hell he is. So yeah, I mean, Mike Awesome leaving is clearly a money thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time I asked, well, he's dead now, right?
Yeah.
Well, the next time I ask him is going to be, it's going to be a while for me. But I'll ask the judge, because Jeff used to handle his travel and all that shit. I'll ask him, like, what was his deal, like, like,
right.
did he not know? Did he not care? Did he only know how to take care? Well, you know who he's related to, right?
Well, Mike Awesome was related to the Hogans, isn't he?
No, Bill Alfonso.
Oh, really?
He's related to Bill Alfonso and the Cuban Assassin. Like, his name is Mike Alfonso.
I didn't know that.
That's right. That's right, Daddy.
I honest to God, I thought he was a cousin in the Hogan family too, in that family. But maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, a big guy with a mullet. Maybe it was 911 I'm thinking of. I don't know. Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Hey, maybe it was me. Back in '94. Big guy with a mullet.
We now have Shane Douglas, Sensational Sherry, and Mr. Hughes celebrating Shane's winning of the ECW World Championship. And this is our appearance from the Rockin' Rebel as he comes in to shake the new champion's hand.
Well, I have to get that shirt. That three quarters. That 3/4 of a shirt where you can, the California body wear. The fuck is Rebel? If it was Rebel, it should have said Pennsylvania body wear. He ain't never been to California.
And Gary Wolf and Sandman showed up too.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yes,
was this? How come I didn't come out for this?
Sandman's trying to solicit a prostitute to Shane Douglas.
No, he's told him it was Peaches. That's the thing. He's pimping out Peaches. He told him that he could give him $20 and he could tag Peaches. That's what
a deal he says too.
Yeah, he's like $20. You got $20, Sherry. And Sherry's like, yeah, like she doesn't care. She's gonna do it.
The best deal in ECW.
When they teased that deal about the $20, I kind of popped for that. I was just like, Jesus. Well, I could have walked away with $20 extra because me getting paid $40 a night. I could have spent 20.
Yeah. Even in 1994 money, that's a hell of a deal.
Hell yeah. And I'm just like, where was I? I was still trying to find my way home from Cabrini College.
Todd Gordon shows up here. The Public Enemy show up to congratulate Douglas. And, of course, Johnny Grunge tries to walk off with the title belt.
Which they've never done before. They've never shown Public Enemy stealing stuff from Todd Gordon stuff.
Yeah, never.
I mean,
never.
Why does Todd Gordon allow Public Enemy like in any establishment that he owns? Because they're just gonna steal shit.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was great that like Johnny Grunge throws the belt over his shoulder. Like
casually, just in conversation. Yeah, throws it over his shoulder.
And I'm looking at it going, he's gonna steal that motherfucker. Like, but didn't they catch him?
Oh yeah, Sherry caught it.
Yeah, I was popping, thinking this dude's totally gonna fucking heist that belt and walk off with it, and then you're gonna see him walking in a W whatever Carver, whatever his jewelry store. Come on, Todd, what are you gonna give me for this thing? And then he tries to take his little magnet to it to see what kind of karat gold it is. Then he realizes the belt's made out of concrete. That's not gold of any kind. That's the heaviest belt I've ever felt ever. And I'm just thinking, I don't even want to be the champion.
Yeah, I don't want the big brass belt.
Dude, I'd rather have that big Ric Flair belt, carry that thing around, than that big piece of concrete that was the ECW title. That wasn't even. It wasn't even like. It wasn't even brass. it was like legitimately like steel, and they had painted it because if you ever seen a close up of it, it's got nicks and chips and dings.
Well,
And
I've always thought that belt like looked weird. That like it looked almost unfinished. I guess is the best way I can put it. Like it, I always thought it looked that way.
it wasn't polished.
Mm.
It had no shine to it. It was dull, and you can totally see
that belt was basically Pat Tanaka.
No polish to it. It's dull.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they should have had the Pat Tanaka toe. Somebody could have came out wearing Pat Tanaka around their waist. because he still works there. I mean, hey, Paul can't figure out what to do with him, so let's make the Pat Tanaka title.
What are you wearing? That's my patty sack.
It's just too bad that R-Truth wasn't around back then. R-Truth could have been chasing around Pat Tanaka. Like, he's like, why are you chasing me? He's like, I don't know. You just look like somebody I want to beat up.
Somebody told me you're a title.
Yeah. Yeah. And he picks him up and puts him around his waist. And Pat Tanaka grabs his hands by, like a embracement around his waist. So he's just like, he's literally a title belt. Good God. ACW, what the fuck? Well, we're getting there, man. We got 4 more minutes.
Maddie in the house screams and I think that's where you said you lost it, right, Chad? You didn't watch after that?
Oh no, it was after the Hawk promo.
Oh, so you did see the awful Hawk promo. He screwed up lines that he'd been doing for 10 years in this promo.
I think he said, "What an Easter."
Yeah, and he said swirt. He did the sweat sock line that he's done a million times.
Yes.
And he's like a pile of swirt snacks. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
And then he's even like, that's hard to say.
Yeah, he goes, that's hard to say.
And then you got to wonder how many takes that it took.
Yeah, I was there. It wasn't live.
Yeah. I swear to God, he said, like, it was a holiday of some sort. What a Mother's Day. And I'm just like, what is this fucking boob mumbling out there? Like, and they're gonna air this? Like, you have that much TV time left that you're gonna air this Hawk promo. And that's when I literally I don't know how much was left. Was there anything left after this?
No, that was it.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Oh, because that's when I just threw my hands in the air and I waved them like I just didn't care. And I said, I'm just gonna deal with you two guys and let you and let you guys fill me in like as we go along, because I'm going, I can't do this, man. I mean, I'm teetering on 50 years old. I don't have a whole lot of time. and you're gonna have Hawk mumbling about the Jerry Lewis telethon or something. I don't know what he was saying out there, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I mean, literally, that had been one of the worst promos.
Oh, it's all. I mean, I'm sure it was a. I'm sure we know why it was the way it was, but just the squirt sock thing got me. I was like, all right, you've only done that line. I've only seen you do that line. I don't know, maybe 100 times, and you can't even get that one right.
I think he said didn't he say he dines on Wendy's? Or he dines on Denny's, I think he said.
Dines on Denny's.
Yeah. We snack on danger and we dine on Denny's. And I'm just going, oh, that's enough. And then I heard Jess. Then I heard the lovely Miss Jess walking down the steps, and I just said, I don't know what's left. I'm just done. I can't do this. And And I'm going. I'm really considering thinking about quitting the show. Like, I don't even do anything all day long. You know what I mean? I just sit around. So I could have watched the show in 5 easy installments. You know, like 10 minutes.
Why prolong the abuse?
Well, why fucking suffer either? Why? I mean, Jigsaw is one of my favorite movies, and I don't want to go through what them people had to deal with. And that's kind of like watching an ECW show. Like when they tie you up to a rotating board and then you're moving towards a saw thing or whatever, and you're just like, oh no, Sandman. Oh no.
I dodged that bullet. I dodged that. You can't get much worse. Oh shit.
Yeah, they just cut off my leg. But at least I didn't have to see the Sandman match.
I was going to say, pluck your eyeball out or watch this Hawk promo.
Yeah. Listen to Rebel. like literally every time you see Rebel, I don't know about you guys, but every time I see him come out, I literally just do the Oscar line. He still work here? Like, I can't believe he still work here. Like, you know? They always seem to find something for him to do, only because I'm sure it's because of the license. You know?
Every week he walks in the arena, or every 4 weeks, he walks into the ECW arena, and they're going to usher him out, and he just pulls the license out, and Paulie goes, wait, let him come in, let him come in. We'll find something for you. That's a wonderful shirt you have on. We'll just shoot it from the back, and you can congratulate Shane Douglas.
Paul yells out, where is Donnie Allen? We need something for Rebel. Like, he was not a big fan of putting me over at all. And I'm thinking, like, in that one show, we're getting towards it. I worked Benoit, Sabu, and Rebel. Clearly, I won one of them matches.
I wonder which one that was.
Yeah. And he was not a fan, right? Not a fan. And Sabu and Benoit just beat the tar off of me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in like in a sadistic or, you know what I mean, a brutal way.
Just the way they work.
Yeah, you know, and it's like it's not like I didn't know what I was getting into, you know. And I was 23 or whatever at the time, so you know, I got beat up by my parents growing up. So I mean, I was kind of used to beatings. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, it was just crazy. I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
He's still around. All right. So I don't think we really needed to tell the people our grades on this week's show, because I think we made it perfectly obvious how we felt about it while we were doing it, unless you guys want to tell everybody. But It was, the funny thing is, I look at it as I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, this is only a half an hour. And I mean, there were 2 decent matches on it. I mean, I guess you can give it that. The Public Enemy and the Bruise Brothers was fun. And then Sabu and Mike Awesome was too.
Yeah, but they were still clips.
Yeah, and
it wasn't like you had Bob Ortiz, you know, introducing both guys. They joined the match in progress with like clips. So I guess in a sense, Nate, you were correct. You know what I mean? But you know, it's like going all the way around your back to scratch your elbow, kind of thing. Like if that's the best you can say about it. Yeah, they were good.
Leaned in, tried to give it some credit.
No.
Hopefully next week's show is at least a new taping. Now that they're done with the Valley Forge show, maybe next week's a new taping, because I know they're headed toward this April 16th show at the ECW arena with the return of Sabu to the ECW arena. So, Aaron, any final thoughts this week?
I have the Hambone Award.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, should I get Jess for this?
Well,
celebrity presenter.
Because
the Hambone Award is awarded to us because we watched this We're the
I'm not.
ham-bone
I'm not
trivia.
accepting that award.
All right, let's give it to Hawk then.
All right. The Hawk promo gets the ham bone award this week.
I still say we give it to Tom Brady because I have no idea why his name's on my notes. I'm giving it to Tom Brady. Did he even play today or something? Why would I have Tom Brady's name? I don't even watch football. Like, the first thing on my page after it says "Love you, Chad" is good Tom Brady video.
It's official. Tom Brady's in the Hambone Hall of Fame. We're gonna give him the award.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be in multiple Hall of Fames, you might as well just really start collecting them. He's like the Kenny Omega of Hall of Fames. He's in the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, Hambone.
That's
and
the most.
He's going to be in fucking Hamburg.
It's 3 weeks from tonight. 3 weeks from tonight, he'll be in Hamburg.
Isn't there another one coming up? Or is it still the same one?
I was going to say, the one just ended.
I thought I saw an ad that I think what did they post about Tony Stetson?
Oh, that's that. Where the hell was that? Let me look at it. I can't remember where it was.
I think it was Hambone. I'm telling you, I think it was Hambone. And the best part is that his name wasn't on the poster, or neither was his picture.
Yes, so, it is.
So I'm thinking he was just going to it.
You're right. It doesn't say here where it's at.
Oh my
God. It looks Hambone though. But yes, Tony Stetson posts November 13th. Oh no, he is going back in the ring at the age of 62 with 2 new titanium knees. He's like Brutus Beefcake.
What the fuck?
Like he jumps off the top rope, but it's like
Get out
I know
of here!
You're the $1 million man, but I'm the $6 million man. Tony Stetson.
He says everyone outside the wrestling world says, "Are you crazy? Why would you do that?"
Have you guys ever seen the pro wrestling? What is it? Illustrated Lords of the Ring with Gordon Soley and Bill Apter.
Yeah.
And then at the end they had that video where it's George Thorogood, like it's is it the Hambone doing that hand jive? Doing that crazy hand jive. And I'm never gonna look at it the same now. Doing that crazy Hambone. And I'm just gonna do Jimmy Valiant hands. like all over the place. All right, I don't have enough. I don't have anything to say. I mean, if you want to follow me, just skip behind everybody else. I don't know. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm still sitting here, so yeah, if you did.
And follow Chad on Twitter at Chad Austin Demira. Check out the We Can't Wrestle podcast and WrestleNet Radio. And please do, if you have not, join our Facebook group. Hop on in and have some fun talking ECW in our Facebook group and talking about reliving the extreme. Thank you to all of the loyal listeners, and thank you to any new listeners that have discovered us along the way.
Oh,
and we will continue to suffer through ECW till it gets good. And I mean, Shane's going to throw the belt down in about 4 months, so we'll see what we have to watch till we get to that. But until then, everybody, we'll see you next week on Reliving the Extreme. Thank you and have a great week.